Radio Free Cybertron, episode 822. I'm Brian Kilby. With me this week, if you're watching on video, you see Don with his face right in the camera.
Sorry, I was reading an article on Phil Collins. He's sorry.
He's really Zordon because it was like just Don's head. It's pretty cool.
I've done that Photoshop before.
Yeah, you have.
Chris.
Bring me podcasters with attitude.
Yes, Chris.
Yeah, you got them.
Yep. Rob.
Hello.
Matt.
Hello.
Diecast.
Hello.
Hello. Man, it's going to be a great week. Pretty excited about all the stuff we have to talk about. This is like Chris had already had the show notes done like 6 hours ago. It's should be a pretty fun show. I do want to address one thing real quick. I've only had one comment that I've seen online about this, and if one person's mentioning it, other people are probably thinking it. So you noticed I've not been around some lately. We've had video episodes without video because I run the video. And the comment was, hey, it's pretty obvious Brian is getting tired or bored with this. Blah, blah, blah. No, actually, I'm actually more excited about things than ever. I'm investing more time and money and energy into my Transformers collecting than I ever have. So unfortunately, my 11-year-old child is going through a mental health crisis that's actually far-reaching and impacting my life in basically every aspect. I think last time I missed, I was actually in the mental health ER overnight with my child. So family comes first. I love you guys. I love the listeners. But I have to take care of my family. So apologies if there are times when I'm not on or if times when we are not running video, but I have to take care of my family.
Yeah,
So,
this is a
Or
position
times
all of us
when
here-
we don't get the show out on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
yeah.
So the
So
position all of us here support for Brian and for each other. Rob and I have a really particular experience moderating on the message board 20 years ago. That's how long me and Rob have known each other. And like the one good lesson we ever took away from that was the phrase "real life comes first." And
yeah, exactly.
we have kept that in mind for everything we've done since then.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It goes for work
Very
as well.
much so.
It's impacted work. It's impacted my, wife's work. It's impacted school. Just a couple weeks ago, my wife actually had to stop my child from coming down and interrupting a live stream to yell and scream at me for some unknown reason. So it is very challenging. It is far worse than I ever thought things like this could be. So if anybody out there has a child with, bipolar disorder and or reactive attachment disorder, I certainly feel for you. So with that said, G2 Transformers.
There's a
G2
bad part about that.
Transformers that never came out.
I
This-
know.
This is the best toy line that has ever existed.
It really is.
Okay,
I
so
really
it is, but I had a thought about this, which is that before they would even try to actually give us Euro G1 exclusive stuff, they're giving us unreleased G2 stuff instead. You're already in the bright color pile over here. Can you give us some of these other things though?
This one's easier because they can just reuse molds that they already have.
Yeah,
I suppose.
We'll build up to the Euro G1 stuff because we will build up to the Euro G1 stuff.
Yes,
And
yes.
better.
I mean, look at the price of the Turbo Masters right now. Unless you get a junker, yes, I got lucky and got them because I'm very old and and I was around when this stuff was dirt cheap. Because at the time it was everywhere. I mean, I got the original Boss on card for $35.
What you paid for with your salary from service merchandise?
Yeah, exactly. But it just shows to go how quick these prices change. Because several years later, a seller from the UK at BotCon had all 4 Action Master Elites on card for $1,000. But this was
ouchie.
But this was like early 2000s.
Yeah,
but right now we're talking about the G2 stuff.
I know. We're not talking about that. But I just saw, I think, Windmill for like $2,500 on card.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's Don, that was a good price.
Yeah,
okay. Okay, so G2 originally started out as repaints, sometimes retools of G1 toys. And, Hasbro's capitalizing on that fact with these wonderful, 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 wonderful toys that are coming our way. So we'd already got the G2 Sandstorm, a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
but gosh, so many neat things.
And the G2 Ramjet through selects, both.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, G2 Ramjet's a little different since it actually came out originally.
True.
We did have her get the recolor of Combat Hero Megatron that initiated the selects line, though.
Yeah, that was all the way back in 2018.
Oh wow, has it really been already?
18 or 19.
Plus, there was that G2 revealed the Shield Jazz for that Walmart set.
Oh yes, I love that figure. That is so nice.
But again, that's based on the released product.
That's a released figure.
So they're calling this the Toxitron Collection because their headline
favorite one.
Their headline piece for this is Toxitron, which is not a G2 toy, it's not a G2 concept, but it is another toy that was never released.
Yeah.
So Toxitron was originally going to be released in the original Transformers Universe toy line in 2003, 2004, around there.
It was off the G2 Laser Prime mold.
It is.
So I'm willing to give up on that one.
No, totally. Just everything else in the line is specifically like a G2 reference as far as we can tell. We have some listings without pictures, but it sounds like it's all going to be the same theme. But Toxitron is just the odd one out because it's not actually a G2 concept. It's just based on a G2 mold, so it does still fit. But
it's G2 colors. I mean, it's bright.
I mean, yeah, it would fit in. It would fit in with G2.
The spirit is definitely there. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
So, like, there's ones here I didn't even remember, like the Jazz. Cloudcover.
Yeah, the Jazz and Cloudcover kind of threw me for a loop because I don't remember them at all.
I do because a couple years ago, Jim Sorensen and Bill Forster brought out the book with all the packaging, and they had the unreleased G2 stuff in there.
Yeah.
Transformers Legacy, great book.
Yeah, and I specifically remember the cloud cover. Just another Seeker. Yes, please.
That Jazz is awesome looking.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I love being someone who was there for G2 as it was unfolding. This gives me a lot of those same feelings when I was in my early 20s again, watching G2 as we were getting it with the selection, the color. It feels G2, and it's great.
Yeah,
the hard part is actually getting these from Walmart. Yeah, that's the hard part.
Not if it's anything like Velocitron, you shouldn't have too much of a problem.
Pulse.
No, Velocitron. I mean, people had problems getting
Cosmos.
So
Cosmos and Galaxy Shuttle.
Yeah, we don't know what the pack out ratio is going to be.
So when are these?
I think they may have learned their lesson from that first wave of Velocitron.
When do these go up?
Their lesson.
I don't know. I don't know, Don. So wait, the collectors.
The 16th and the 17th at 10 a.m.
So tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh no.
Yes, as time of recording, tomorrow.
I am. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. work.
Eastern.
I am going to be asleep because tonight's the Gundam Battle Operation update.
Yeah. So tomorrow at work, my calendar, my first meeting's at 8:30, and then I'm back to back until 5. So I'm going to have to multitask and get these.
So
I'll
10
be
o'clock
driving.
10 o'clock tomorrow on Pulse and Walmart.
Well, probably 1 o'clock on Pulse.
That's
my
be doable.
Most important meeting of the day. I cannot. Jeez.
Okay, so JT Prime is in our Discord chat, tfradio.net/Discord, and he notes he's pretty sure Shadowstrip's package refresh and either Sideswipe or Mirage are going to be the short packs in this assortment. So
I could see Shadowstrip, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a rerun. Which Shadowstrip is being rerun in this because they're also putting G2 Dead End in this capsule.
Yes, they are.
Sideswipe and Mirage are unfortunate because Mirage is going to most likely be Watermelon Mirage, and Sideswipe is probably going to be
Sunset Sideswipe.
Yeah.
Which one?
I would.
The bright yellow and light blue one.
What was there another deco for Mirage?
I don't think so. I think just the watermelon colors.
Yeah. And I fortunately just sold my Sphinx watermelon one, so glad that I got rid of that.
Yeah, I would love for this to be the released colors of G2 Mirage on the Earth mold, but given the rest of the line, I am not expecting that, and that's fine.
No, but if they're running that Mirage mold, I mean, they could just go ahead and run the Diaclone colors at the same time.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
That's a good question too. I wonder if this will have the toy-based head or the cartoon head.
Now I see all this, and I'm thinking
I'm hoping for the toy-based head.
I'm hoping, yeah.
I want G2 Dinobots. I want all the Dinobots in G2.
Well, you'll get one of them.
I
Yeah,
know,
so
but now I want them all.
Yes, and the one you're getting is not in. You've seen the color scheme they're using, right, Don?
Yeah, it's the unreleased Tiger Stripe. The Tiger, basically, I always call them Tiger Force Grimlock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got to at least get that. That Grimlock toy is fantastic, and I like those colors.
Yeah.
Seems to have a new robot head mold that's a little bit more IDW oriented.
Interesting.
Dan's project just had the same tiger stripe.
Yeah.
For TFCon for last weekend.
That's interesting.
So we know of 8 toys here. Is that they're not all coming out at once, are they? Is this like a wave 1 and 2? Because there's a lot of deluxes there.
Yeah, I mean, you would kind of think it would have to be 2 assortments with that many pieces.
Do we not have any Voyagers?
Yeah, it's Cloudcover is a Voyager.
Yeah, Cloudcover's a Voyager.
Oh, that's right. All right. So we only have one Voyager?
Yeah, I was about to say, is there another Voyager we haven't heard about that could be in this? Or is it just going to be like a solid pack of sky blue cone heads?
JT Prime is saying this is all wave 1, case of 8 for the deluxes. I guess there is only 6 deluxes. And that would explain, we've got Shadowstrip already figured as a short pack. And then if Sideswipe or Mirage is the other one, that makes up the case. Like 2 of the other ones and 1 each of those.
So it's going to be Toxitron and Grimlock per one each per box.
Probably so.
Yeah.
And Cloudcover is solid pack. So yeah, it's the only Voyager.
So is this going to be how hard is this going to be to find on the webpage? Because
hard.
I mean, it's
just
that's
why you do it through Pulse instead.
That's why I would contact a Walmart employee and ask them for the super secret access that they have, where they can get anything that they want at any time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Don.
I know. No, and it's just the fact that it's very difficult to find this stuff when it goes up, because it's like it's there, but it's like if you put Transformers in, it doesn't show up. But it's under this other page. If you find the secret link,
you have to go to the secret link, which is it was normally at Walmart.com last time, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying finding the stuff within Transformers, because like it
doesn't matter if you find it on Walmart's page or not, they'll cancel it anyway.
Yeah.
So
I was just in Providence, Rhode Island, Don. I could have stopped by your office if you wanted me to.
Yeah, so the Walmart CollectorCon site is still up. It says it starts in 13 hours and 15 minutes. So at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
So I'm gonna keep that link open.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move it here.
And I mean, Blade's got the right of it. You might get pre-orders from Walmart 6 months after you find them in the stores anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you might get them early.
Yeah.
They're crazy. Walmart's crazy.
Well, here's the thing. I still have not seen Galaxy Shuttle, Shadowstrip, Crasher, or whoever or
I don't think you're going to see Galaxy Shuttle at this point.
No, unless you go to Canada.
Or Ollie's
or the UK.
Yeah.
Ollie's
also a solid possibility.
And it doesn't matter where you go, you're not going to find that hot rod because I don't think it was ever made.
Yeah.
Tragic.
That sucks.
The pre-orders. I'm sorry. Which hot rod? The movie hot rod?
The Voyager from Velocitron.
Yeah, the toy colors hot rod from Velocitron.
I think Walmart actually did finally put up a pre-order page for the retro one.
Yeah, that went up to that rewent. Yeah. It came back in stock.
Yeah.
Pre-order back in pre-order, yeah.
With Walmart's pre-orders though, like even if they don't cancel your pre-order, like I kept my Cosmos pre-order from Wave 1 Velocitron after I'd found Cosmos in store, because I thought if I got another one, if I can't find someone who needs it, I can flip it later and probably make a profit. They sent me a Burnout instead, and by that point there was no getting it fixed, because there was no Cosmos stock left. No. So they kept the pre-order. They just gave me the wrong thing and then couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, Walmart Collectors Con is awesome though. No, it's not.
It's just, I was about to say, just the name of the shop, as the old saying goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of these toys probably are not going to be hard to find eventually on a store shelf somewhere. But
I mean, if it's if it's like real G2, you'll find them at Big Lots for like 3 years.
Well,
As long as I can go to KB and pick them up
Yeah.
like by the armload, I'll be good.
my local Walmart did the reset, but there is nothing new on the shelf except for those weird Funko vinyl pop weird Transformer figures that's in the section now. There is nothing new other than Retro Starscream.
So the interesting thing at my Walmart is over a 3-week span, they got wave 2 of Legacy. They got wave 3 of Legacy the following week, and then the week after that, they got the first wave of Legacy Evolution.
Wacky.
So it's just like overflowing with this bizarre assortment of stuff from the last 8 months, one case worth each.
Yeah, and they
Nothing
kind of just
bad
all
about
filled
Leo's
their
fun.
shelves, so it might be hard to get this stuff on the shelf.
Well, no,
well,
the
this isn't due till like summertime.
and the Velocitron peg space is still there, so they'll just replace one with the other.
Yeah.
Which means, probably in another month or so, the remaining Velocitron Deluxes will start getting clearance so they can make room.
And
I hope-
also in this round of pictures were some official photos of Thundercracker and Hound from the movie retro line.
Yeah, can't wait.
Those look nice. I want to get the Thundercracker.
Yeah, that blue looks really good on it.
It does.
It does.
Okay.
I can't imagine anyone's looking forward to, paying $35 for a reissue of G1 Hound, the tiniest Autobot car, but what are you going to do?
Even smaller than Skids?
Okay, maybe second smallest.
Let's see
That's
here.
actually a good question. I've never actually had a chance to see Hound and Skids side by side to see which G1 toy actually is smaller.
Yeah.
Skids is pretty tiny, and I've paid a lot more than $35 for that mold in the past.
I actually don't have G1 Hound, so I don't have it. I can't compare it to my Skids.
Same. I have a reissue Skids, or I may have sold it, but I did at one point, but I've never had a Hound.
If I have a Hound, it's in the box.
I had the Encore, or I had the reissue version of it, and then
Yeah.
I got rid of it. So
And Don can't tell us because he's not actually in the offices in Rhode Island. He's working remotely today.
Yeah. Like I'm secretly the head of Hasbro. Really,
it's not that big of a secret.
Really,
Don.
people. It's
You would have fixed the QC problems by now if you were secretly the head of Hasbro. Let's be real.
I'll be honest with you. Talking about that, I know we're kind of biased because I tend to buy more Hasbro product anyway. But I was playing around. This is my off topic. What I got this week. Playing with my the correct version of Roboto, like the comic version,
Mhm.
and I thought I can't remember the last time that I had a QC issue with a Mattel toy. If I've ever had a QC issue with a Mattel toy.
Yeah. I don't buy a lot of them, but of the ones I've gotten, I don't remember ever having it.
Yeah, it's like it's not a problem. It's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, like Masters of the Universe figures, especially like that, are vastly simpler than.
But even well, I was gonna say the McFarlane stuff, but it's not. That's McFarlane, not Mattel. The old Mattel, like Marvel Legends knockoffs, whatever they were fine. The Masterverse figures are fine, like compared to say like Marvel Legends stuff. Yeah, just generally speaking, I can't.
I mean, if you want to talk about bad QC, talk Power Rangers Lightning Collection, but that's
Exactly.
I saw a picture just a little while ago of the Zap Astro Megazord, where one of the clips that holds the arm on in the spaceship mode has already broken on someone within 24 hours.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Speaking
that's
of-
a $170 toy.
Speaking of sucks, did I say that? I don't mean it. I don't mean it. Rise of the Beast Target exclusive deluxe multi-pack revealed, and everyone's favorite,
you don't mean it, but I do.
I and everyone's favorite Transformers website, IGN.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it.
So these are all those molds that we saw, the past few months, trying to figure out the difference between Studio Series and quote unquote mainline. So this is interesting that these in the decos that we've already seen are coming out exclusively at Target in the US as multi-packs. It kind of makes me think like, yes, they had all this stuff produced. They may have stopped before the packaging stage and then they just diverted all the inventory and got Target to take on the entire run as exclusives. So they don't have competing basic deluxe toy lines running at the same time.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
that makes total sense. Just does nothing for me. Like I in a multi-pack, I will take a figure or two that I don't love if the set makes sense or it does something cool with it. This does nothing at all. It's just a multi-pack.
Yeah, and the absence of theming on those 3-packs, like any discernible theming, also makes me think like, yeah, this was stuff that was thrown together just to get the inventory somewhere and not take away from Studio Series sales.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so assuming depending on where packaging takes place in the process from the
It's pretty
manufacturing,
late.
yeah, well, okay, the manufacturing that I'm used to, packaging is the first thing that you do when it comes to the manufacturing. So something like that, if in the industry that I'm familiar with, if you were doing anything like this, you would have to know that way up front. So if it's later in a toy's life cycle, the product life cycle, that totally makes sense. But like what I'm used to, packaging is like the first thing that gets done.
I mean, I imagine like the graphic design aspect of the packaging gets done very early, so there can be the maximum number of hands on it as possible to make sure, all the little I's are dotted and everything. But for the actual production of the packaging and packaging the toys, by all indications and all accounts we've had officially, like that seems to be very late in the process. And from that conference call a few weeks ago too, that was one of the examples cited. Like if there's something that they need to make a change for at the packaging level, they can do that up to very, very late in the process, and it doesn't cause them a problem.
Okay, so like what I'm used to is you have to design the package, you have to have the dimensions, you have to have the graphics, and all that has to be done up front.
Mhm.
So, okay, that's cool. Yeah, it does nothing for me. I wasn't going to get them anyway. I'm definitely not going to get them now.
I wanted a few of them. I wanted the Wheeljack. I was interested in the Cheetor and the Air Razor. If those three were in a 3-pack together, that would be great. They're
Mhm.
not, and I don't know that I want to, buy a pair of $60 3-packs. Well, slightly under 60. I mean, odds are good. These will go on clearance pretty solidly.
This
Yes.
multi-pack feels like a bag of junk you buy at Value Village. Like, oh, I need that Roku remote, but I don't want these hair curlers. But you got to get the hair curlers to get the Roku remote. That's kind of what this is.
Man, I miss Value Village. I need to get over there.
Yeah, I feel dirty. I go into the sketchiest of places, but I feel dirty going into Value Village.
I was about to say, you would, if you feel dirty going to Value Village, you would not last like 2 minutes in the Goodwill outlet I used to go to.
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, I love Goodwill outlets. Like, it feels like I'm in a third world, like, sort of facility because everybody's fighting over, like, like half a pair of socks in the corner of the bin.
And everybody, whenever they bring a new bin out, everybody swarms it.
Yeah.
And they often have to tell them, you can't put your hands on it until we put the brakes on.
Yeah, I would much rather do that than go to Value Village.
Okay, Value Village just kind of feels like a step up from that to me, but admittedly, it's been a while since I was to either.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah. And last bit of news, it looks like Orange and Jazz is out in various Target locations, including mine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
Yep.
Brian texted me. He's like, check your Target. And I checked my Target.
Diecast was in a ditch in the snow, I think, when I texted him.
No, it was the day before.
And like I was like, had sun, beautiful blue sky, and Jazz sitting on my dash. It's the perfect toy, by the way.
How's the transformation?
Perfect. I mean,
Nice.
no, it's not perfect in the sense that there's some slight frustration getting some paneling lined up. And I'm not a big fan of panels in general with Transformers, even though we've always had them. But it is pretty much the perfect transformation and the perfect Transformer.
Yeah, I almost went out today trying to get one of those. I saw locations around Nashville were reporting stock of those, but a 4-hour car adventure didn't seem great when I've been having like severe back pain for the last few days. So I
Yeah.
let that one go for a little while.
Like the first sighting of this I saw on Twitter was actually from a Target in Baltimore, and apparently I missed it by a few days. I was a few days too early actually getting out to a Target, but I may have to go back.
It looks like basically every Target's going to have this more or less at this point. It feels like more or less.
Yeah.
God, it's a great toy. I love it. I want every single G1 car just like this.
Yeah. I want the Siege line that existed in my head.
Yes.
To come out piece by piece over the next 5 years.
I've forgotten about Siege at this point. Like we were not a fan of Siege for the most part. This is a make good for Siege. Pretty much.
I think mechanically we liked a lot of the toys.
Yeah.
We just didn't like their approach to doing Cybertronian modes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like I said, back when I wrote the review for Siege Optimus Prime, I'm pretty sure I described him as transforming into a Cybertronian like 1978, whatever model of truck it was.
Peterbilt?
Yeah, something like
Freightliner?
that, or Freightliner. That's the one. Yeah, because that is exactly what it does.
Rusted Cross is saying Siege gave us Skyfire though.
That's
did.
true. Skyfire is an
That is fair.
excellent toy.
That is fair.
I think the one. Go ahead, Rob.
There's good stuff in Siege, but yeah, like Chris said, the approach we wanted to Cybertronian toys, that's this Target, the Bumblebee that went with this Jazz and this Jazz,
I think the one thing about Siege that left a bad taste in everybody's mouth is we got Earthrise Optimus a year after Siege Optimus came out. So it's like it was just like, I think that kind of really enforced the fact that
we got a lot of Earthbird stuff the year after the
but I'm just saying
that really is you're right, Don. That really is the issue that, not only were we a lot of us not on board with the Cybertronian styling of things, but a lot of it was almost immediately obsolete.
It seemed pointless.
But we're not talking about Siege. We're talking about Jazz. Or it is Jazz.
Let's get back to the present because the present is neat.
Yeah. So any other
Wheeljack?
Wheeljack?
Yeah, one Wheeljack.
Yes, one Wheeljack. I want that.
Yeah. So I kind of sort of transforming it now. It transforms so nice and easy for the most part once you figure out how to do the legs. Because I do it, I transform without the instructions. That took a second, but it's nice. While I do this, I guess let's jump to what we got this week. Who wants to go first? I got these two things.
I'll go
some other
first,
stuff, but I'll talk about that later.
I'll go first. We had a Hasbro Pulse warehouse sale. Some people are still waiting for their items in the chat. I was lucky enough to get some of the items.
I think I ordered something that I never got. I need to double check.
I got a really nice box. Don will probably know what this is from the size. Come on, Don.
Yeah, it's the Holiday Optimus Prime.
Yes, they added this on Monday. And I think because when I first went through the list, I'm like, there's really nothing I need.
That was me. I ordered nothing from that sale because I either had it or didn't want it or had got it cheaper.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I didn't order anything. I already had it all.
There you go.
There was stuff I wanted, but things were a little bit in flux, and I wasn't sure if I could, spend the minimum they needed for me to qualify for that sale.
That was my problem. I was going to pick up a couple scrap hooks, and I had 3 in my cart and still hadn't reached the threshold to get the 35% off, so I just canceled.
I wanted the second Sergeant Slaughter, but I didn't want to buy anything else because there was nothing else that I wanted.
Yeah, because I looked at getting Dusty, Rakondo, and another Joe figure, which put me right below the threshold. Not only could I not find anything that I wanted to put me over the threshold, the Rakondo was about the only one of the Joes that was not eligible for the warehouse sale because I guess it's shared with Target. So it's like I could not find anything I wanted unless I got a third Maverick crossover, so I could.
That is at least 4 Mavericks too many from what I've heard.
I sold my Maverick. I forgot to who, but bless you for buying it.
So Diecast, is that your first Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus or your second?
This is my first one because
nice.
I didn't want to pay the price that it was at the original price, but with 35% off, I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up now.
Like, I don't even like that toy, but it looks so good in those colors.
I mean, and like the first week of the sale, I thought about grabbing Slicer and Flame War, but like working it out, it's still, even after the sale discount, the 3 individual deluxes are still at like normal deluxe retail price. It didn't feel like there was any discount on them then.
Yeah.
You know, it knocked off the Shattered Glass markup, but it didn't actually make the toys any cheaper than they would have been normally anyway.
Yeah, I also got the Legacy pack with the
Creatures
gold-
Collide.
Yeah, Creatures Collide. So now I have bodies for those extra heads. Because I figured, since they come with, 2 heads each, I needed extra bodies.
But now you still have extra heads, so you need to get more bodies, which are going to come with extra head. Like,
Yeah, but at least I got a body for each head. So
Yeah. So
except
now,
except for the ones that are in the new box that you need bodies for.
yeah, so you'll just have to put like a big pile of heads up on eBay.
Ah,
and then I also got the 3A Deluxe Optimus Prime from the last night.
Fancy.
Yeah, it's just such a beautiful figure. And at the price it was, I couldn't pass it up. So it actually just came today, and I just got home like a couple minutes before the show, so none of this stuff is opened. And then also from Big Bad Toy Store, I got Metalhawk.
Oh, nice.
I
Jealous.
like him better. I haven't transformed him yet, but I like him better than Cyclonus.
Wow.
Blasphemy.
Nah.
That is a bold hill to die on, Diecast.
That's I was about to say that's a pretty bold statement, but I hope the figure bears it out because it really does look good.
So I haven't opened mine yet. So I got Metalhawk this week. But I got mine at Walmart, not Big Bad Toy Store. But no, it can't be as good as Cyclonus. I'm sorry, Diecast.
no, I mean we
And
objectively
then-
know that it's not.
I also got Skyquake from Big Bad.
I
Toy Store.
knew there was something
Nice.
that I should go to the store to see if I could find. I thought I had everything out. I do not have Skyquake. Wait, no,
Yeah.
I do have Skyquake in my pile of loot. Never mind, I do have Skyquake.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a big week, but I also got it. I left it upstairs. FansToys Cliffjumper, which is an amazing looking Cliffjumper. I haven't tried to transform that yet either, but as far as like having a decent representation of Cliffjumper on your shelf, that's it.
I've got Ocular Max Hellion, and it's like I watched a video for that Cliffjumper, and I'm like, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze on the way that bottom half transforms. I'm sorry.
Don't transform it. It just looks it's the best looking Cliffjumper we have.
Don, I'm checking Big Bad Toy Store on the homepage. A NECA Elvira.
Yeah, I've got the one that came out from Target last year.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay,
That's all I got.
let's go next.
I'll go. I have a very eclectic mix, so I apologize for that. Went down to Greensboro with some friends on Saturday. We stopped by Ed McKay's. Not a lot there, but I did pick up.
What Star Trek stuff did they have, Don?
Well, actually, they didn't have any that I saw. It was very crowded.
The
I
Winston-Salem one has nothing but Star Trek.
Yeah, but I did pick up my favorite Star Trek book, a better copy than the one that I've got with the spines broken and the pages are falling out. Hang on, I'm gonna get used to this new camera. Doctor's Orders from it's the one where Kirk puts McCoy in charge of the ship and the Klingons show up. That's fun. That's one of my favorite books of the
Don,
series.
speaking of Star Trek at McKay's, look what I bought recently. I'm like just a couple short of having all of the photo novels.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
awesome.
I love
That's
these.
awesome. I remember those. I also picked up one of the Masterverse, the Adara. I have no idea about the character. It was half of retail, and it's a good looking figure. So it's going to go on my no themed shelf.
Is that Teela's friend from Revelation?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just I really like the way the figure looks. I just have no connection.
I
also
watched the series. That series sucks, so don't.
Yeah. Also, I picked up from the other He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the one with the younger kid playing Adam, the female version of Mosquitor, Mosquitra. I never saw her in the store.
I've never watched that. I gave all of those toys that I had to my kids.
Yeah, I need to watch the next season, but that's a very interesting looking figure, so I picked that up.
If it helps influence you any, Brian, David K plays Cringer.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Today I picked up from Amazon one of my guilty pleasures. Well, not really guilty pleasure, but one of my favorite series was Battle Chasers from the 90s. Love Battle Chasers. This is the soft cover collected edition. I have the hardcover, but I really don't want to read the hardcover and break the spine and have issues because that hardcover is phenomenally expensive to replace. So I got the soft cover version of that, and I backed the Kickstarter for the game about 3 or 4 years ago. So hopefully we'll be getting issues 10, 11, and 12 to complete the series before too long. Thanks to a friend of mine on Twitter, I picked up from Walmart the complete Goof Troop for $7.
Very nice.
That's awesome, Don.
Yeah, so I got the complete Goof Troop for $7. So
was that about 65 episodes?
54.
Very nice.
Really good price. So my Disney Afternoon collection is getting completed. Today I got from Entertainment Earth when they had a small sale going on. I didn't want it, but I got the Batwoman unmasked for like $7 because it saved me the $16 on shipping. Yeah, because it put me over the free threshold to get what I really wanted: Bluegrass. So I'm cherry picking the Silverhawks like I am the Thundercats, but I've always liked Bluegrass. I'm praying they don't do a Mirage, and I'm hoping they'll do a Melodia. So that would be really cool on the shelf with a Melodia. So I got those from Walmart. This was just a random thing I saw.
Okay, it says we're streaming YouTube.
Hello again, YouTube.
Hi, everybody.
All right, Don, you remember where you left off?
I remember he had just shown
Bluegrass,
and he said he wanted Webtara or something I've never heard of before. Just give me a second. Let me start recording.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Okay.
All right.
So, Don, just start back with whatever you had after Bluegrass.
Okay. I also picked up today from Walmart. It's the 2012 Nickelodeon Turtles. It's the box set in the van as a carrier. It's the 4 Turtles, Shredder, and Splinter, which I'm surprised they still had in stock at basic retail of about $50. I'm gonna sell Shredder and Splinter, but I always wanted the 4 Turtles to open up for display, but I never pulled the trigger, and then they were gone. Or they had been changed to the other variants on down the road and not the 4 basics. So that was an interesting find.
I saw that a while ago.
The last 2 things I got over the weekend, TF Source was having a sale, and my luck with Seekers has not improved somewhat. At least, well, that's for the next thing. But I did pick up. They had on sale the Make Toys Starscream, Skywalker, Thundercracker for $79 a piece, and I had that credit from the Zeta versions that were breaking in the box as I was lifting them out of the foam. So far the Make Toys seems like this version is in better shape. So now I've got a complete set of better looking Seekers because my Zakar masterpiece ones really ain't holding up all that well. And these look a lot better, and they're going to go on the shelf and just be on display for the most part. But I got all 3 of those for a very good price. What would have been my crowning achievement for the week was supposed to be Make Toys G2 Starscream. I've been wanting this for a while, but never saw a good price. And now that I've got G2 Bruticus, I was really wanting to have a really strong G2 shelf with Starscream, Bruticus, kind of recreating Starscream's Brigade, but with some G2 colors. This came from a reputable website, someone we've all bought from before. I don't want to say any names right now. I don't want to stir up any fires or anything until I hear back from them. But when I got the box was immaculate on the outside, nothing wrong, super well packed with the green bubble wrap that a lot of companies use. The clamshell was open because if you remember with TFCon, this came in a giant G2 style plastic clamshell with the little buttons at the top where it closed. They were undone. The figure was in there, and when I lifted it up, the whole thing just fell apart. Like someone had tried to put it in a vague jet shape and then was using the clamshell to hold it together. So I start going through the figure, and the face that comes with the figure is missing. The chest piece there was broken in the box in the bottom of the clamshell. And I'm not sure if you have any experience with this mold or not, but the waist hinges are also misassembled. They're supposed to be the same way to allow the torso to compress for jet and robot mode. Because they're misassembled, as you can tell, they don't look the same. And therefore it does not work. So not only does it look like I got an open copy, I don't know. I'm just saying the box had no damage. So what would have happened hard enough for this thing to be jostled open, wrapped in bubble wrap in an interior box inside the shipping box? I don't know.
My guess would be the pressure from it being unable to transform entirely properly probably forced the clamshell open.
Possibly. I hadn't thought about that. You're right. The retailer did say that they think they have the parts, and they're going to check with their boss on later on this week. I'm guessing with TFCon, not everybody someone had to ship this out because it was shipped out on Friday, and I got it on Monday, but I guess everybody wasn't back from TFCon at that point. The problem is, though, I don't really want parts to fix it because I don't have the time, the inclination, or the skill to fix something that cost me $150.
You shouldn't have to, Don.
I shouldn't have to, because this was still the best price that I have seen on this figure since TFCon. Other places were charging $170 to $190, which is why I never got it. But I had a little bit of money coming from some work overtime. So I thought, I want to get this for my G2 shelf. And it's absolutely an absolute wreck of a figure. And all I can do is hope to get a refund. And I've been told on Twitter that this was a bad figure from the get-go, which I did not know. Because I watched several reviews on YouTube for the basic Make Toys Meteor, which this is based off of, and all the reviews had nothing but good things to say about the mold in general. So, yeah, this was a major disappointment, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen until I hear back from them. But that's what I got this week.
Well, how about that? Sorry, Don, that sucks.
Really does. It's. And I was really looking because I got all that at about the same time because TF Source put the sale on with the TF Con sale for the regular seekers. And then as I'm going through my pre-orders at this site, this was still showing in stock at $149, which was $30 cheaper than the next closest retailer. So I thought, I'm not going to see this any cheaper. If I want to get it, I'm going to get it. And then, ta-da.
Matt, anything?
I got a couple new shelf risers. I redid my display behind me. And I got from Entertainment Earth, I got my second Legacy Dead End because I like Menasor so much. I wanted a Menasor and a team of Stunticons.
That arrived today?
Yes, it arrived in the mail today. And good news, it compacts into car mode perfectly with little incident. It just transforms the way it's supposed to. Everything clips together and
amazing.
I might have known that would arrive today for a very specific reason.
Yeah. I think that's everything. I'm cutting back for reasons.
Yeah.
So
Chris?
No.
Rob?
Yeah, got a few things. I got well, I was forced to ship my pile of loot at Big Bad Toy Store because something was about to expire. That something being Holiday Optimus Prime, which is just a really nice figure.
Oh yeah.
If I had in a perfect world, I feel like I would have replaced most of the black on that with maybe a nice dark green that would have fit the holiday theme a little bit better. But that's just me. Otherwise, it was fun to transform. It's fun to mess with. It looks good. I'm very happy with that as a figure. Also in that pile was a Gundam model of the Gundam the Origin C-type Zaku that I pre-ordered a full year before it came in February.
Wow.
But I'm happy to have that because I had an action figure of this design like 20 years ago. And the Gundam the Origin action figures, did you ever get any of those, Chris?
No.
They were good looking, but the Zaku's had the worst hip designs ever made. They were the hip joints were pegs that went into the lower torso, and the sockets for the lower pegs were not only a little bit on the loose side, they also crumbled.
Oh, well, that's a little problem.
I have a drawer full of Zaku parts for those. The Gundam from that line was great.
Huh.
But yeah, so I finally replaced that. The last thing in that box was I wound up getting my brother something else entirely for Christmas because the Real Ghostbusters reissues that were supposed to be in that I ordered in October that were supposed to be in by Christmas came in also in February. So he now has a full set of the reissue Kenner Ghostbusters. So
cool.
$30 for those four, I think is not
That's
bad.
Great.
Oh no, that's not
Nice
bad.
figures.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. And the last thing I got is during the week, Amazon had the Mill Creek Steelbook of the original Ultraman for like $8. So unfortunately, that is the packaging where they just stack the discs on top of one another. But for $8, I'll live with that. So
Yeah, get you a nice DVD binder to put those in instead.
yeah, I need to sort out my DVD binder. It's full of DVDs, but some of which I'd probably replace with Blu-rays by now. But
well, I think they'll fit in there too.
Yeah, probably.
Usually.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everything I got this week.
Cool. Hey, one quick update from me then. So one thing I got this week was a refund, finally, on that eBay auction that I was talking about.
Good.
After the show last week, I think I'd mentioned, maybe not, that I got an email saying that I was going to get a refund. Great. I was waiting on that refund to come through. It didn't hit my account. Nothing happened. So I emailed back and said, hey, I'm just checking in. When am I getting my refund? Oh, well, we made another decision. We're not getting a refund again. Yeah, again. So, I had to email several more times, re-clarify, and eventually, I guess, I hit a threshold or something, and they gave me a quote-unquote courtesy refund. But long and short of it is, I got my money back.
Mm-hmm.
And also, turns out, a couple days later, after all this went down, I posted this to a Facebook group that I'm a member of. And I'm like, okay, now this is done. Whose photos were these stolen from? Whose photos, were they?
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, after a few days, the person who knew where the photos came from had commented, it was actually from a prior auction that I somehow missed. It didn't pop up in my eBay search agent for these toys. The auction ended in December, and he won it. And the photos were lifted directly from it. So I emailed eBay back, and they never responded to this. I'm like, look, I got my refund. My courtesy refund. I don't care, but I want this account closed. These are the photos where this is stolen from. This conclusively proves that this was a scam. Yeah. Please close this person's account. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do anything.
eBay's not worth it anymore.
No. So, but yeah, I had to be rude to people, had to be mean to get my money back. I didn't enjoy it.
You're nicer than I am, because I think that or at least more dedicated, I'll say, because I think if it reached the point where I had to be rude or mean, I would have just gone and disputed it with my credit card.
Well, what I wanted to avoid, since I'm actively selling on eBay, what I wanted to do was them not to go into like collections or something.
Yeah.
Which is what I assumed would happen.
Hmm.
So I wanted to make sure that all my affairs on eBay were in order before I did anything. And they're not. So couple things, other things I'd mentioned, the Jazz and the Roboto. I got the bubble, the Repro bubble. You can't really tell in here. I'll just say this. The bubble is really nice. To do this right, it needs to be glued to the card back that it comes with. And I'm not going to do that. But it's really, really good. So the bubble for Inferno. Like I said, I had gotten my dead end from Entertainment Earth today. I actually had pre-ordered from Entertainment Earth Breakdown, but I found it at Walmart. So I canceled.
Yeah, their stock of Breakdown's not in yet.
Yeah. So Walmart had 2, so I just got that and canceled the pre-order and saved myself like $10 shipping. Also mentioned that I got the Metalhawk. Just have not, also at Walmart, have not had a chance to open it yet. Something I'm actually really excited about. A couple years ago, I'd picked up a Walmart Kids Meal G2 puzzle. Part of their snack pack thing. There's no, I don't think there are any toys tied to it. It's just a puzzle, but cups. So this has Sideswipe, G2 Sideswipe, and I guess Bone Crusher on it. This has G2 Optimus Prime. And this has Grimlock and Starscream in G2 decos. So, and they have a nice little lid. It's new old stock. The person that sold it also included the bag that the meal would have come in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, from Walmart. I like that. I've been going down a G1 rabbit hole and I shouldn't, but I got this is a mold that I've never owned before, but I'm going to work on my 84 and 85 stuff. A pretty nice, complete Wheeljack.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I saw this on Mandarake, and the price was good. And I already have the toy, but now I have it sealed. It is Ramhorn.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. On the card, it's Japanese. So. But, yeah. Is that what I got this week? That is what I got this week. So, tfradio.net/Amazon. If you're watching live, you saw my internet go down. Help. Anything. I'm kidding. I don't use that to pay my internet. But tfradio.net/Amazon. If you want to help us out, cover the cost of the show. Things are expensive. Also, our Patreon at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons get an ad-free version of the show, higher bit rate, weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast. If we do an edited version of the show, you'll get an unedited version. Hot 5 podcast a week early. I'm going to start posting those this week because I'm so behind. Patrons at the touch tier get to be on Hot 5 with Rob. Touched patrons get to be mentioned on the show each week and are listed at tfradio.net/credits. And starting next week, I decided, since I think I trimmed down, I want to rework the Patreon a little bit. I want to make it more appealing for people, or enticing is the word. Starting next week, Radio Free Cybertron, this podcast, for patrons will be available a day early. Doesn't mean 24 hours, but I will post RFC starting next week to our Patreon, day and date. So I record it Wednesday. It'll be up Wednesday night. So that'll be something that we start next week. Now, weeks when I'm not here, I can't do it. But weeks when I'm here, and I should be here most weeks, it'll be posted day of, starting that next week. We had a technical issue tonight, and some stuff is going on, so I can't do it starting this week. But starting next week on the 22nd of March, that will be something that we do. If you want to get the show a day early, sign up on Patreon. But again, I want to thank our patrons at the touch tier, and I haven't checked to see if anybody's dropped off. Nobody's been added to the touch tier, though. You should join, though. Be awesome. Kevin Dorsey, AJ, Eric Griffin, Tyrell Gwynn, Rick Mahurin, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Ness, Joey Russell, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Jay Klein Rye, Sean Hamilton, Jacob Owen Lucia, and Sean Bratton Boomer. Thank you all so much. You are awesome. We appreciate you. You can find everything we do at tfradio.net, on Twitter at tfradio, on Facebook at facebook.com/tfradio. We stream the show live each week to a live studio audience on our Discord at tfradio.net/Discord. You should be there. It's awesome. We love our Discord. In fact, I will say this. During pre-show, that what we weren't recording, Chris and I were just talking about how much we love our people on Discord. That's like, we interact with people on Twitter.
We don't like anybody.
Yeah, we don't like anybody. We interact with people on Facebook, on Twitter, and things like that. But if you want to connect with us, the best way to do it is in our Discord community. We have a great Discord. It's awesome. It really is. So if you want to connect with us, be a part of the show each week by giving feedback while we record live, not like jumping on the show. That's at tfradio.net/Discord. You don't even need the app. You can just do it right from your browser. John DeLuna not here. He's at that John D everywhere. Rob Springer not here. He's at Rob Springer on Twitter and at zonebase.org. I'm on Twitter at bkilby for now. Instagram, Brian Kilby. Chris, how do people get a hold of you?
Come find me in the Discord. You can also check out my toy photography related work at playwithphotography.com. And I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist if you want to just, send me random things for no good reason.
Cool. Oh, hey, at T-Formers, there's a photo of the Rise of the Beast movie poster starting to show up at theaters. That's cool. If that's your thing. It's nice seeing Transformers stuff in a theater. Maybe I'll try to get one of those posters. I like the Optimus poster. Rob, how do people get a hold of you?
Okay, well, I am currently on Twitter at Rob Flails, which is the Twitter for Flail Through is my YouTube account. That's still mostly Gundam Battle Operation 2. I'm hoping with the more spare time I have now to branch out into other directions and, get a few extra videos up here and there. So keep eyes peeled for that. If you like what I'm doing over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs will, help. Especially since I just paid my income taxes for the year. And yeah, a little bit out, just a little bit. But yeah, if you like what I'm doing, head over there. You can make requests for GBO2. I was able to fill a bunch of those the last couple of weeks, which made me happy. And if you'd rather just, throw stuff my way, there is tfradio.net/playlist.
Sweet. Don.
I'm reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4, EVR. You can also look at my Amazon wish list at Amazon/Don's list if you want to take a look at that and bequeath me something if you feel like it.
I think that's at tfradio.net/Don list. So, Don list.
Sorry.
Yes.
Go to Amazon.com. That's what happens when you go to Amazon.com/Don list. I'm curious. Don.
Yeah, oddly enough, Amazon has not heard of
Oh, sorry, we cannot not find that page. But there's
a nice picture of a dog, though.
There's a cute dog, yeah. That's sweet. Cool. Diecast.
You can find me on Twitter at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. And if you want to see some old reviews, TF Radio or youtube.com/RFC Reviews.
Cool. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Awesome. I've been running a fever since Sunday. I'm going to bed. So I'll see you guys later.
Oh,
have a good one.
See you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Don't hang up before I get one
Recording
thing.
stopped.
We're still recording. We hit stop on the recording. The people watching live on YouTube, I'm not joking. I've been sick since Sunday, so I'm actually really do need to go to bed. Like, I'm at the point right now, I'm starting to lose it. So I'm going to kill the stream, and we'll see you next week.
Take
We're
care,
See you,
guys.
everybody.
Okay. We are not